Okay. I'm inviting Michelle to join my live. So let's see if she joins. Hey, Dee Dee. We about to how do you even title these? I guess you can't even do that. I haven't done a live in so long. Michelle. Michelle, how do I add you on here? Oh, here we go. There we go. Boom! Michelle joining the live. It says, we're telling your followers that you're live. Okay, Michelle, why is this thing? Lord, help me. I haven't done this in so long. Hey, Dee Dee. Haven't seen Dee Dee in person in a minute. Okay, Michelle, I added you. Where are you? It says two people, but I don't see you. Let me invite you again. What about that? There we go. Hi, Michelle.
Hey girl,
How you doing?
good. How are you?
I'm good. I just thought that, we'd have a little midday chat on the live because, I'm feeling some type of way and I need perspective. I need, I need to understand why people operate the way that they do. Okay.
Let's
Okay.
talk.
You don't even know what we're about to talk about.
I don't. I have no idea.
It's like, like whose line is it anyway? It's like improv conversation.
I'm, I'm
It's
gonna
improv, but for conversation.
I'm gonna try to remain in.
No, we talk about this all the time. Okay, so boom, this is what I'll talk about. Because lately I've been on the customer service
Mm-hmm.
and I used to. So I'm a trainer. So okay, if you're joining this live later, if you're watching it, my name is Tanida Mullen. I have. I'm a multi-passionate with several businesses, but I'm a trainer and I'm a facilitator professionally. So I've trained and have created programs around customer service for years, and it's really just kind of one of the pillars of the talks and the service that I do provide when I am training and speaking. So I'll just think about customer service, and let me tell you, I'm gonna tell you what triggered this because we've been having customer service conversations for I don't know how long, but someone shared a post of someone else, and I was like, oh, let me go check out this business. So I go check out the business online, and it's like, yo, this is my name. If you book with me, it's gonna be. I mean, this is the first sentence. It's it's $25 if you're 10 minutes late. It's um X amount of dollars if you're 15 minutes late. Now, remind you, that's 5 minutes. Okay. And then it's if you cancel this, and that, and then it goes on and on. And then at the end, it says, I'm a business owner and I have to protect my business and giving all these justifications for the rules, right? And I'm just like, okay, I'm not probably not gonna book with you.
Is
But
this
I
a,
mean,
is this a hair place?
no. But it is a service provider. It's
Oh,
not
okay.
hair, but
Okay.
it's a service provider. So beauty service provider,
Oh,
right?
makes sense. Okay.
And so I just want to I have my thoughts around how we treat our customers. And so my initial thoughts are this. I don't care what business you're in. I don't care if you're talking about internal customer service, which is the service that you get as an employee from the people that provide employee services to you internally, or it's external customer service, which is product exchange, money exchange. Someone comes to your business and they purchase your product or service. You're in the customer service business. It don't matter on what side it is. It's either internal or external. That's it. So you're always people driven. And as a business owner, I don't care how good you are. I don't even care if you're the only one that provides that service within 200 miles.
Mm,
You are still in the customer service business, and your customers are the reason you exist. So do you know people, a lot of people, especially these days, they're like, I don't believe in the customer is always right. I understand that. You don't have to believe that the customer is always right. We're not asking you to believe that, but we are asking you to understand that you are not a business without the customers. You
right.
literally are a hobby. So If you don't got customers, you're not business. So that's the root of where I want to start our conversation. And I just want everybody to know on the live where I'm coming from when I say customer service and business owner in that relationship. The relationship is you don't have a business without the customer. That's it.
So, what sparked it? Was it the fact that she had the fees? It was front and center.
I think for me, and this happens a lot. So I'll tell you. So in my work, right? I remember when COVID first hit, and in the building that I work in, um, there were no, I'm lying. Let me back up. So there were these First Amendment right protesters, right? And then what they do is they'll come into public businesses and they'll film, right? That's what they do. And so when that happened, I remember the reaction from the facility where my office is at. They put all these signs up everywhere that said employees only, because that was the reaction. It's like, oh, well, if it says employees only, they can't go in there. This is true, right? But I will tell you, when it comes to signage in your business, it's off-putting, right? So you have a business where somebody's coming and they see all these signs that say employees only. Number one, they don't even know what these rooms are. So now already they're in this like confused state because they're like, okay, well, I can't go here. Where am I supposed to be? You know, and I say that I said that story because I know a lot of businesses, they put signage up as a way to communicate with their customers, and it's off-putting because these big signs, no matter what they are, no orders after 4 o'clock, da 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 da, like, you know, all these things. You're not welcoming the business. You're not, and you're also not welcoming education, because if I read a sign and I interpret it the way I want to interpret it, I have no educational background as to why you do what you do. You're skipping the complete culture of things. It's just like Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A don't have no signage. They got their hours of operation. They have no signage that lets you know they don't open on Sunday. You know what? By culture, you just know. You start to figure it out because you roll past there. You're like, ain't no cars over here, or whatever. You as a customer, you acclimate because they educate, and they do tell you, like, you know, in their story or some of their marketing, like, oh, you know, we close on Sundays because we're a faith-based organization. We believe in families. That's the culture. But you don't got 15 signs that say we don't open on Sunday, or a billboard that says we don't open on Sunday. So that's what I'm saying. I don't like, as a customer, I feel like as a business owner, it's your job to educate and acclimate. It is not your job to put 99 rules on people before they do business with you. You know what I mean? That's what bothers me.
That Chick-fil-A example is gold.
I mean,
That's
it's true. It's
that's
true.
a good example on so many fronts. Yeah, because even when you were telling me what happened, the first thing was, this is my first impression,
Right.
late fees, you know.
Right.
And I do think there's a better way of handling it, as far as, whatever the booking process is, that's on the end, right? So
Right.
after from your appointment, after you make your online payment or whatever the case may be, then you share all of the late fees or whatever, your stipulations may be. One thing that I've learned recently, because, I'm working on my diversity book, and
Mm-hmm.
I know a little bit about accessibility, but, I'm diving into that right now. And lots of times as entrepreneurs, we think we hate to lose money, right?
Right.
Lose money as far as, maybe someone canceled, or, oh man, I think I just booked someone, but they changed their mind for whatever reason. Like, we hate to lose money, but we never know and understand how much money we don't see.
And when I tell you, because I had jumped on live right before, and I was like, no, I need that
Mhm.
interaction. I need another person's opinion. And what I thought was, I said, okay, let's say, for instance, I book your service. It cost me $200. And you tell me, if you cancel, I'm keeping your money. Okay. So something comes up, I have to cancel, right? Now I'm making a choice. Do I want to give up this $300 or $200,
Mhm.
$100, whatever the fee is? Or do I want to make this, figure out a way to make it work? And what I tell you is, there's a certain amount of money that if I lose, I will never do business with you again.
Mm.
And I might not have a choice. It might really be a situation that I cannot control, right? And I get it. You're booking at your own risk. You're booking at your own risk. So if you put down $200, then you need to know you're not going to get this back. That's fine. But then there's real life. And I'm going to tell you right now, if I spend $200 with you on first visit and I have the opportunity to be a continuing customer, you're missing out on thousands.
Yeah.
And you're missing out on the people that I could potentially bring. Now, somebody might say, well, I can't get paid for potential. Ma'am, sir, you're in the customer service business. And if you think that word of mouth marketing and how you treat your customers is not going to potentially help your business, or even you put in the value and the attention into it, you don't need to be in business. Because you guarantee you, I'm not recommending no business that is going to take the money and not give the service, right? And someone says, well, I could have booked someone in your time slot. You could have. But do you know what hotels do?
Mm.
They say, okay, we're going to give you 20, we're going to take a deposit, right? Or we're going to keep your card and we're going to give you a certain amount of time to cancel, right? And if you don't cancel or move your reservation, like we're going to keep a certain amount of money. Same model. However, there's other options. I can move my appointment. I've seen things where people are like, you can't move it. You can't even move it. And I get it because moving the appointment is not actualized dollars. I still missed out on that money. I understand. However, as a customer, you're not allowing any life to happen. You're not allowing any room for anything else. And so sometimes having really strict policies, yes, they protect you as a business owner, but you're putting your customers in positions that are going to push them to choose options that are not as difficult.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And
Yeah.
that's just what I feel. I mean, what do you think? Do you feel like, because you're right, you made the point, like, as entrepreneurs, we want to save our money. Me, for my events, I don't have a cancellation policy. I have a transfer policy. So if you buy a ticket to one of our events and you can't make it, you can transfer it to somebody else or you can transfer it to our next event. I'm going to give you service. I'm not just
Mm-hmm.
going to take your money. But I can't sell a ticket last minute in your place, but I'm going to give you the opportunity to get the service. And that's the thing I don't like. You're not giving your customers the opportunity to even get the service, and you're keeping the money.
Right.
I don't know. And then the late thing. So I'm 20 minutes late, or I'm 10 minutes late to an appointment, and now I'm out of $30 for no reason. If the service is going to take you 10 minutes, maybe I could understand that, right? Because it's like, okay, well then, but I'm 10 minutes late and you're still performing the service. What are you going to do in 10 minutes? Why are you charging somebody being 10 minutes late?
But okay, so and this is the tough part, right? Because I equate this to like when we're in school, right?
Mm-hmm.
Have a group of people, but then you have those one or two kids that ruin it for everybody.
Right.
And now you got to enforce it.
Right. Right.
Everyone
Right. And
punished.
that's a problem though. Like that's the thing. Because that's to me, that's bad management, right? I cannot let the habits of one or two people, problem people, influence my business model. It's a bad move. I'm sorry. Like, I would wish I had somebody who was in beauty. Matter of fact, I don't even know. I wish I had somebody I could invite who is in beauty. How many people can you invite on here?
I've seen 4 people.
Dang. You know anybody? I really would love to invite somebody who works in the service industry. And I know we're picking on beauty because honestly, I hate to tell y'all beauty service providers, y'all the one with this wild stuff. Y'all the one talking about, okay, well, first of all, your hair got to be washed before you get here. What? Like what? Now, I understand having different models because I have seen that, right? I've seen where it's like, hey, if you wash your hair and it's straight when you get here, here's a price. If it's not, here's the price. And what you're doing is allowing people to, number one, have flexibility in their pricing, also flexibility in their time. Because it's been times where I just want my hair trimmed, and I really do not have time to sit there to get it washed and blow dried, or I could do it I could wash and blow dry myself. I just need to swing in for 10 minutes and get it trimmed. I understand that. That to me is flexible. But to say to me, before you sit in my chair, you got to do 50% of the beauty service, but I'm still going to charge you $350. Like, I can't even. This why I have no words. I
I,
have no words.
I agree. I agree with some of the stuff, right? But I think what happens, there's a couple of things. I'm going to try my best to play devil's advocate, even though I'm not in the beauty world. But I do get my hair locked every 6 weeks, and I don't play with that. For
Look,
some,
she was like, you said that who's getting married on that day? Nah, can't do it.
yeah,
Sorry. You having a baby. I'll see it when it gets here.
I
Got to
need
get my
to
hair
be in
locked.
Houston, right? Because for some of the reasons you mentioned,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it's a couple of things. The penalty, the late fee penalty, is in place to hopefully create some discipline,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but some sense of urgency, but it's there to like hopefully you'll honor this time, right? And daycares are doing it too. That's another thing I've heard as well.
Who?
Daycare centers, if you pick up your child late, yeah. Because there's a
Mm-hmm.
couple of things. When you're late, you mess up my whole schedule for the day,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I had this happen a couple of weeks ago where I'm like, the person in front of me was late. And
Mm-hmm.
stylist, she texts me and she's like, I'm running 30 minutes late. So I was like, okay, cool. And so I got there on time. I got there on time for the late time, right? The 30 minutes late.
Mm-hmm.
And she was still doing the other person's hair,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it's like, okay, you were late. You're messing up my appointment. I have plans because
Mm-hmm.
I know for me to get my hair done, it's 2 hours. And
Mm-hmm.
my stylist has already pushed it back 30 minutes. I get here, you're still in the chair, and now you're messing up my plans. So it's really a timing issue on everyone's part, regardless of how much flexibility you may have that day.
So and I understand that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here's where I have an issue. Even though you charge somebody money, right? Because first of all, it depends on what I value. If I want my hair done, I'm gonna pay that $30 even though I was 10 minutes late. I
True,
don't give a shit. You know what I'm saying? Like
true.
what's that got to do with me? And your schedule's still messed up. And you're still charging that, hey, I'm not whoever's on our live, if you work in the beauty industry, let us know because we want to add you to this conversation. So if you feel like being on camera because we don't work in beauty, we're just, customers of beauty. And this is not a beauty conversation. This is just a customer service conversation, but we just don't have to be talking about beauty. But so for me, and this is from a business practice and a management standpoint, if you're 10 minutes late and that's gonna mess my flow up, you now have given up your appointment. Ain't no charge. I'm
Mm.
not charging you. What am I charging you for if it's about making sure that when Michelle sits down at her seat or when she walks in that door, I'm ready to go? So I can understand somebody saying, hey, you're 10, you're 15 minutes late, your spot is gone. Sorry, that I can understand. That I can get with. But you charging me as a way to manage my habits, like I get it, incentives work, right? We all work, we can talk about employee engagement, we can talk about human behavior, things like that. Incentives do work. But number one, I think you need to be a little bit more subtle, right? Because like you said, it's not necessarily the rules, right? It is the way that you present your business. If I am just coming up on your business and I have to read 19 rules before we get started, I'm exhausted. I'm done. Like I'm not messing with you, man. Like I had to read 2 paragraphs and I'm still confused. I don't know when I could book, if I could book, how much it's gonna charge me, what happens if I have a flat tire. I don't know what. And then on the other side of that, Most service providers do not give you anything for not managing their time. Ain't nothing. I ain't getting a discount. You know, if you're
That's
10 minutes behind for because you charged Sally $35 because she was 15 minutes late and she paid that $35, guess what? My appointment's 15 minutes late. And what am I getting in return?
yeah.
I'm not getting nothing.
No discount.
So I don't agree with that because it only serves the person. You think you're using it as a way to manage habits, and what you're really doing is turning people off. In my opinion.
True. That's true. I will say this. So let's go back to what you said earlier. If I'm 10, 15 minutes late, just cancel my appointment. Like
Yeah.
if you're so worried about your time and your schedule, just cancel my appointment. But the thing is, they're gonna miss out on that $200, and then they're like, "Well, shit, I have 2 hours until my next appointment. What am I gonna be doing?" So they're gonna squeeze you in because one, they want your money, and then everyone else after that just has to suffer whatever the consequence may be.
But that's what I'm saying. And if we start this conversation about customers,
Mm-hmm.
if you are customer centric, and this is what I feel, and I said this earlier, um, as a business owner, you're gonna take some L's. You think you're gonna mitigate and feed your way to not taking an L? You're not. Like you're not. Like we both know this. You're an entrepreneur, I'm an entrepreneur. You gonna take some L's. I don't care how many fees you got. You just are.
That's
So if you think that that's the way to not take an L, like it's just not. Now, I mean, we can jump off beauty. You know, I have no problem switching because another thing I'm noticing right now with shortage in staff, right? A lot of businesses are like, we're short, and they have their little signs, we short, sorry, it's enough. Because yeah, here's my thing. Y'all still going up on prices. I was at a restaurant the other day and I'm looking at the menu. I'm like, I was just here, probably about 2 weeks ago. I was like,
mm.
something don't look right. Something ain't right. I was like, did y'all change the prices? Oh yeah, everything on the menu went up $1. No. Meanwhile, it took you 15 minutes to bring me a napkin. I got a problem with that. You know what I'm saying? I got a problem with that because if you're gonna go up on your pricing and you're having a staffing shortage, where can you tell me why am I paying more for something and I'm not getting
Uh,
better service? Now you say, well, we in the same example with it comes to beauty, like I gotta make my money. Great. If you got 100 table facility, in order for me to get the best service and you charge me more money, I have no problem with that. But you need to close down 30 tables.
to me,
You can't want all the money and want to fill all the tables and give me shitty service and then charge me more.
to
So
me,
as a business, if we can't take our L's gracefully, we're not gonna be okay.
you coming for everyone's pockets on a Sunday?
I'm just saying, Chick-fil-A ain't gonna do it. They closed, so it's my work to do today. I'm just playing. I'm picking
Lord,
up Chick-fil-A. What I'm saying is,
close that section off.
I'm Michelle. I think this just is a money thing, right? We
No, you're
want
right.
all the monies, and we want to cut those corners to get all the money because we see the opportunity. But you are doing this at the cost of the people who are giving you the money. Period. At this point, I'm not sitting for service that's trash. So I've been going out less. Put it to you like this. The places that I've been going out lately have been hitting my pockets. When I tell you this shit's expensive, to me, service immaculate. Great.
Mm.
Perfect. Because I already know I'm out here about to pay $30 a plate for something, but they know what they need to do for that. They know that damn dish I could get down the street for 15 or $14. So they're gonna bring their A game. I have no problem, and I just said this, I have no problem paying for a great experience. No problem. But you're gonna give me the great experience. You're not about to have me out here sitting down spending money. And a lot of people, and I always hear the argument of, well, you get what you pay for. What? I mean, I'm sorry. I'm not going to a dining service and paying. And this is why fast food, like when it comes to fast food, I'm done with them too. Because guess what? These meals are like $9. You can't get no $5 combo no more. Look, you everything $8.99. By the time you get to them, you like, oh, can I get a number three? Boop, I want this drink. I'm like, okay, that'll be $8.19 or that'll be $8.59. Excuse me?
You might as well go to a
Why
restaurant.
Chili's got the 10 for 10? You
That
playing me?
you
Like,
might as well go to
no.
a restaurant and at least get a well cooked meal.
I
Versus,
mean, I know that it's real steak. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna lie to you. Some of these, especially now with dine out and they're making it easy, you can get drinks now in Texas, like I can create that experience. I don't think it's worth the convenience anymore with fast food. Fast food, yes, it was about convenience, but it's also about pricing.
yeah,
And if I'm hitting $10 and I'm driving through and I gotta take the shit home, I might as well just go to a restaurant, you know what I'm saying, where I can get a salmon, some broccoli, you know what I'm saying, and a salad, a
$15, $20.
whole full meal. I might be paying an extra $2 or tipping more or, tipping the to go person, but the quality of food is just gonna be different. And
Yeah,
that's just where I'm at with it.
you're right. Because you can, okay, I get off of work at 5. Okay, at 4:45, I need to place my online order
Yep.
on the way home, aka drive through at Chili's or wherever.
Mm-hmm.
You can get it yourself, or they can come to your car. So, yeah, I agree with the fast food concept. It's going to be real interesting how that's going to look in the next 3 to 5 years.
It's hard right now for people because they don't have the manpower. But I just don't like where we're getting to a place where we're telling people to accept that. In 2020, early 2021, yeah, I'm gonna give you that grace because
Mm,
nobody knew how to handle the
yeah,
shortage. Nobody knew how to handle that. Um, but here we are in 2022. You're going up on your pricing, and I mean, who knows why? That could be industry. That could be just, hey man, we got to pay more for potatoes. It is what it is, and so we have to charge that to you. Fine, charge what you need to charge. I'm not a pricing person. If I am an expert in a space, then I'm gonna get on you on your pricing because I know better. But if I'm not an expert in the space, I don't know how much it charged for people to braid hair. So if you charge $350 to braid hair, I mean, I guess that's the going rate. Can I tell you that's expensive? Don't know. Don't braid hair. But I'm gonna tell you right now, $350 for me sitting in your chair, you gonna bring your A game. Like you got that's a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? Like you need to bring your A game. Like I'm sorry. I don't know. I'm upset. Can't you tell? I'm not upset. I'm annoyed because I
I,
think we don't show people grace. And so like I actually this is funny. I had an appointment last week. New beauty vendor, and I made the appointment and I gave an email that I really shouldn't have because a lot of my emails go to spam. So I had remembered that day specifically. I ended up missing the appointment and I had something triggered. I looked at something. I was like, oh my gosh. The next day I realized I missed the appointment. So I reached out to the person, the young lady, and I was like, hey, I'm so sorry. I've apologized. Like, you know, I'm sorry, and she was like, it's all good, just reschedule when you can. And I felt bad because
mhm.
all I kept thinking was, man, I took a slot that she maybe could have filled with somebody. You know what I'm saying? But she gave me an opportunity to rebook with her. Now, if I did it again, we ain't doing that. Like, I'm gonna have to fire you as a customer or, you know, whatever. You got to pay a higher deposit or whatever. But I believe, if you have problems, treat it case by case. Like if two people didn't show up to your appointment, um, or they showed up late, why are you charging all 30 of your clients late fees now? Why are the majority paying for the minority's mistake?
But I think it's easy money, right?
And that's the problem.
Because even for me, for my lactation, I have to set my appointment online. I have to put my credit card on file.
Okay.
But when I go in person, they want me to pay cash. So
Mm-hmm.
therefore, if I miss appointment, they're going to charge me regardless, right? Because my credit card's on file. So,
I'm okay. I'm not opposed to charging if you miss an appointment. I think the cancellation times need to be realistic. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know for whatever service that is. I mean, I don't know what's realistic for somebody to not lose, or just say, hey, if you cancel before 48 hours before your appointment, I'm going to keep and charge you the service, and you come in when you can come in. You can
right.
get one time to come in. Like, so for instance, I work, I venue, let's say venue management, right? If you put your deposit down and you sign a contract and you cancel, we can say, okay, you can move your date. I'm not gonna give you back your deposit because you canceled too late per our contract. But I am gonna let you move your date to something that's available one time. If you can't make that date, if you cancel that date, well, that's it. I'm gonna keep your deposit. We're done. I'm not gonna let you keep kicking the can down the road. That to me is a middle place. That to me allows for grace. That allows for things to happen, and that puts into account that I understand that we're not robots and
Mm.
things happen. So I think it could be a middle ground, and I don't see that in
I mean,
any of these services.
okay, so you mentioned how if you're late, you're financially punished. If the style is late, there's nothing. You still have to pay the rate.
Mm-hmm.
So, with that being said, do you take away your tip?
That's a good. So I'm not a big proponent of taking away tips.
Mm.
Um, I worked in the service industry for a long time in my 20s. Um, I'm not big on taking away tips. Like, how some people are like, oh, we're starting here and then you're losing the tip. Like that's um because you're still providing the service. However, I do believe there needs to be an option for me to get out of the agreement. So if and we can go, black hair care, black salons. I mean, I don't know what's happening now, but I remember back in the day. I mean, you talking about being at a 1 hour appointment for 4 hours. It's like it's not supposed to be. But I do think we need to offer the options to your client to take their out. So for instance, Michelle was late. She put me 20 minutes behind. I'm so sorry. Like I'm probably gonna be starting on you about 15 minutes or maybe 20 minutes after. Um, Give me the opportunity to break our agreement if I've already paid or if I put down a deposit. Give me that. Now, if I choose to stay, that's different. I had that happen about a couple months ago. A nail tech I was using, had been using for months. I really liked her work. Anyway, at the time, um, I had an appointment. I had stuff to do. I got there, and she was running about 45 minutes behind. No lie. I waited for 45 minutes after. And it was crazy because I really needed to get my nails done. And so I did wait, but I was pissed. And I still tipped her. I don't remember tipping her what I tipped her, but sometimes your tips do go on how you feel about the service.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, I don't know if it's like automatically take away the tips. I think it just depends on how you feel. Like, do you feel away? Do you feel like because to be honest with you, it's not really hurting them. Their service pricing is built on getting the most for the time and value of their service. Tips are just icing on the cake.
True, but I think when you have loyal customers, you know what to expect, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know Michelle is going to give me 10 extra dollars every time I see her.
Mm-hmm.
You know Tanita's going to give me 5 extra dollars every time so I think eventually they do become accustomed to that because I mean that's at least a meal, Chick-fil-A, whatever, Starbucks, right? And it
Yeah.
adds up. It adds up. If you have 30 customers in a month, that's even small because that's like one a day. But if you have 30 to 50 customers a month and each of them are giving you $10,
Yeah. No, I mean it's gonna fill your pockets, but
Yeah.
I just also know that these services are, you know, they're not cheap. So, you're getting your money either way. It's kind of like how I feel about tipping is it's a courtesy
Mm-hmm.
that on the unless you are in a serve like for instance, you work in the service industry and like the restaurant industry, you are working for tips. You're not making money before the tips happen. But when you have a business or a service based offering, you know, it's kind of like Sonic, where it's like, yo, they pay these people. I ain't gonna tell you I don't tip the Sonic people. Sometimes when it's hot outside and I'm like, damn, y'all sweating out here, y'all got on skates, and
I'll
I'm
be
feeling like tipping, I'm gonna tip you. But a lot of times I don't really think to tip the Sonic people because I'm like, y'all getting paid like y'all aren't in the service industry in the way that a server would be at folk, not folk with a
yeah.
child, not folk with a child. I ain't got like I'm like Chili's, right?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I went to Luby's with my mom a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, "We walked through the line, but am I supposed to tip the like, some
Yeah,
places?" I'm confused. I'm like, "Am I supposed to
yeah.
tip?"
Nah, these things are these, and let me tell you what's really messed things up. Not mess things up, but like what they call fast casual. So like your
Mm,
Chipotle's and your Five Guys and things like that. It's really put the service it's awkward because you're still getting so like you go to the Chipotle and you got that, but then you sit down and they do have people, come in, they're wiping the tables, they're asking you, do you need stuff? And you're like,
mm,
well, do I? You know what I mean? So you're right, a fast casual model is very interesting because you don't know where you sit with it. You're like, well, I don't have a server, so like, do I tip?
right. And I'm
Um,
like Smoothie King, at least some of that I go into when I go inside, they have a tip jar.
right.
Or even Starbucks, even on
Yeah,
the Starbucks app. And
yeah,
I'm
yeah. I'm not mad at those things like that because like, when you talk about Smoothie King or like Starbucks, these are things that people like. I mean, people are. It feels their day. They go every day, and I think it's more about relationships with that because like um I love the Starbucks that I go to. They know my order, they know my name, they know who I am. So
okay.
yeah, when it comes to like tipping, it's more you tipping because of a feeling. You just might got it like that day. You just want to drop something in there to show appreciation. Um, and then you just have some people who are just tippers all the way around. They tip everybody for everything. They slide in 20s here and there. They just tippers.
I try.
I'm a good tipper. Um, but I typically tip traditionally. So like, restaurants, bell service, um, beauty service, stuff like that. I don't just be
I
out here.
I try to tip. I think I'm a decent tipper. Because it's based for me. It's based off of location, then service, right? And then
Hmm.
I probably tip 90% of the time. Like last week, I traveled. So when I went to San Diego, I had a little bit of cash. I tipped at the airport, tipped the shuttle, tipped the hotel.
Right.
To Vegas, didn't have any cash. No one got a tip.
Ah,
I
so
felt bad.
you like it just a bit. No, I understand the cash thing too, and that's hard nowadays because like who carries cash like that? You have to be intentional when you're traveling to literally go pull money out because everything is. You're right. You're right about that. But I don't know. I was just ranting and raving about, or no, not raving, ranting about these businesses and like we want to give people grace and I get it because I made mistakes in business. I get it. Um, but I think it's just the way you present your stuff. And I just want to advise anybody that's watching this that first impressions matter and people before they buy something from you, they're looking at reviews, they're looking at how you talk to people. There's this restaurant in my area, a seafood spot. Everybody was talking about it years ago. And so I went on Yelp because I was like, oh, I want to know what I should order, what people posting pictures of. And the owner had went through every negative review and like chewed each person out. Some of them he even remembered the order, and they were like, he was like, "Oh no, you said you wanted this, and I gave you that, and you didn't pay for this extra sauce." And I'm like, never will I eat there, and never have. I'm not giving nobody my money who's about to fight with me. I'm not. I'm not. And so whenever I see those things of like people in the service-based industry that put all these rules out before I even hit booking, because you're right, you could do that, but let it be after I book with you, right? Hey, these are the rules of the road when you book with me. Or hey, I see you're at the payment page. Here are the rules of the road. When
Right.
you're putting that information out before I even decide I want to book with you, I'm not booking with you. Because the vibe is you're doing too much.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree. I think lots of times people are copying what other people are doing and they're not even thinking through,
Mm-hmm.
especially when it comes to the service aspect of it. The second thing is people put it out there. Let them know.
That's
Like,
what people, but here's my thing though. Let's just, we can talk about this from a marketing standpoint. It's about the copy.
mm,
Do you think, okay, if you book with me, just know, if you book with me, please be aware, okay? Please be aware, and I'm trying to take my tone out of it so people could like not even tell, like not making a tone thing. So here we go. If you book with me, please be aware that if you are 15 minutes late, there will be a $10 charge. Please be aware that you are 15 minutes late, there will be a $30 charge. Please be aware that if you bring kids to my appointment, I will not be servicing you. Please be aware, here's the rules, right?
yeah.
Versus, boom. Okay, thank you for potentially booking with my service. There are a few rules of the road I want you to
Mm,
know before you hit pay. Our best practice is that we do not take late arrivals because we want to keep the integrity of our service and make sure we service all of our customers. If you do arrive late, we will have a service charge. Okay. If you do not show up to your appointment, there will be a cancellation charge, right? Like
yeah.
it's the copy, right? Because one of them is like, just so you know, and the
Just
other one is, hey, I want to help you be great. Here's the rules,
yeah.
right? It's a difference. I'm all clapping. Look at me. Ain't nobody doing business with me. It's clapping on the lot.
Thank everyone who's joined us.
Yeah, thanks. Y'all, this is just a very, like, a random customer service conversation. Look, it's going to go viral somewhere. We're going to be up on YouTube somewhere. But no, like, copy matters.
No,
Absolutely.
that's an excellent point. Um, and feel like that's a great presentation when copywriting becomes customer service,
Mm-hmm.
something
Mm-hmm.
along those lines.
Mm-hmm.
And I know for me, I do help clients with their tone when it comes to inclusive content.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I think that goes hand in hand, like what you just said. So,
Yeah, I'm okay. It's not the message, and I think maybe that's what I'm.
but it's the
That's
tact. It's the
it's
tact.
what
The
right.
tact.
Hmm.
People don't have tact in 2022.
Right, and I think honestly, if I were to go back, we've been talking for about 20 minutes now. If I were to go back and think about what really annoys me, it is your presentation. It's not even your like run your business how you want to run your business. Is that the way I would do things? No, but
Right.
don't make me feel like I'm a burden, and I haven't
Mm,
even booked with you yet. I haven't booked with you yet.
that's
And
true.
I think that's where we fail. And it's some great work. Like I'm seeing pictures of great work, and I'm like, I will not book with you. I'm not gonna do it. I don't care how good it looks. You're not getting my money. Not yelling at me, and I ain't even booked with you yet. No.
You know what? This is a very eye-opening topic if you allow it to be.
Mm-hmm.
Because now I'm like, okay, yeah, what does customer onboarding look like?
If that could be my life work, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Mm,
I It is vital. Now, internally, I'm a geek about that. With the way you onboard your employees, we can talk for 2 hours about that. But the same, not all the same. Some of the same principles apply for onboarding your customers.
Right.
You got to onboard your customers with the assumption that they're going to be long term,
Yeah. Yeah.
that you could be serving generations of the same family. Like, you have to onboard them like you give a shit that they do business with you 2 years down the road. And a
Yeah.
lot of people do not, because you know what? They're just trying to get money. They could care less if you sit in your seat again. They could care less. I'm gonna tell you who do this right. My realtor, amazing. Purchased from her. She helped me buy my home in 2013. We have a relationship, a friendship now, but honestly, beyond that, even though that is true, her customer service is crazy. Like last year, it was like 3 days before Christmas. And I'm like sitting here, I'm about to wrap gifts or whatever. And then like I hear this knock on my door. And I look and I'm like, who left me wrapping paper? It was a wrapping paper with a bow. You talking about 3 days before Christmas. The time when you like rushing out trying to get
Yeah.
bows
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
boxes. And I'm like, this is the type of stuff. I haven't bought a house from her since 2013. Um, she does customer appreciation events every couple of years where she'll come out, her old clients, her new clients, and if you want to invite a guest, hey, I just want to show y'all I appreciate you all for doing business with me over the years. These are the kind of things, these are investments that we make with these people. This, and I know that's not onboarding, but it's part of the customer experience.
Right.
But you're right, onboarding is so important. So like let's talk about that real quick with your clients. Like how do you onboard your clients, especially your consulting clients?
Yeah, so that's a good question because I have a long sales cycle.
Mm-hmm.
So it can take me anywhere from 2 to 4 months to even get a client.
Mm-hmm.
So by that time, I'm like, I think we know each other pretty
Mm-hmm.
well, right?
Mm-hmm.
So some of the things I do, obviously, once the paperwork is signed and all of that, I try to have initial client. I got to be careful because I already had established my relationship with the point of contact and the decision maker,
Mm-hmm.
but I want to have a call with everyone else.
Your stakeholders, like every stakeholder.
Yeah, on his, on his team, maybe direct reports or other people I may be working with.
Mm-hmm.
Try to do a group call and a one-on-one call.
Mm-hmm.
So that can take about a week or two, depending on the size of the organization or the team. And what I've realized, people enjoy that because with D&I can be, um, it could be a hard conversation to have,
Mm-hmm.
with some people. And that's the thing. A lot of people have feelings about it that they don't feel comfortable saying in group calls.
Mm-hmm.
So when I have a conversation, I can speak on their behalf without mentioning their names. So it's the one-on-one calls, and then from there, kind of go into the work of everything,
Mm-hmm.
and then of course monthly reports, and then final reports,
Mm-hmm.
um, and a couple of checkups afterwards, as far as the exiting is concerned.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I think for me, um, I like to have, so the one-on-one with the decision maker, or and it is, and really most of the time the decision maker is the person who reached out. So
Mm-hmm.
one-on-one with the decision maker. Then once we decide we want to work together, then it's like we have another call with like, what are your pain points? Here's what I know we need to do. I gotta have that in my head based on our conversation, but then I need to actually hear you tell me this is what I want to get out of this session, right? I need, these are the pain points, these are our problems. And then we'll weave that into like a program that either I already have, or, do something custom, which I prefer. I prefer if you book me that you work within like the programs that I've done or already have done. just because I feel like now I can actually spend more time on customization because we have a base
Mm,
versus like completely doing something custom. Because doing custom work, it takes a long time. And a lot of these people want to have these meetings now. You know what I'm saying? Or they want them in the next 30 days. And it's like, you don't have time for custom work.
right.
But if we could do it like that, then great. You know, if not, then whatever. So pain points when it comes to facilitation, I do a survey. So I'm reaching out to all other stakeholders. And if it's like a board or whatever, or it's like a community group or whoever, it's everybody else who's not the president or the decision maker. I'll share those results with them specifically, but I give like a general brief before the facilitated session. So I might say, okay, well, this is ideally the understanding that I'm getting from the group. These are their pain points. And a lot of times it's really interesting because sometimes they don't always match. Like
Mm,
what the decision maker thinks are the pain points actually don't turn out to be the pain points of the group.
mhm,
Um, and then that's how you know where the alignment's not. You're like, okay, this is why y'all disconnected because y'all not on the same page of what's
mhm,
wrong. And
mhm,
that actually makes the work way easier because now instead of focusing on trying to figure out the problem, you can focus on alignment
mm,
and like helping each other understand where they're coming from or what,
right.
you know, and getting clarity, which is the work I like to do. I like to help teams get super clear. But and then after that, you know, it's after actually a survey, I need to understand that I did my job and that you feel like I did my job. And then you know, after that it's just anything, any touch point after that really truly is just like relationship. Like, oh, how's the team? Or, you know, I saw that y'all got an award for this, congratulations, you know, that type of thing. And then I don't and maybe I should be better at like pushing more work with them, but some of the work you do, you know, when it comes to training and facilitating consulting, like it's hard to just sell it again. You know what I'm saying? Because it's so specific. But
That
yeah.
that is true.
And I also, another thing I love to do is when I work with a group, I'll take a picture at some point during that process and I'll just like do something custom, like, you know, like a graphic with their name, the date. And they didn't even know that I took the picture. And they like that too.
Make it memorable.
Make it kind of memorable, yeah. Because a lot of times you're doing work, they're not even thinking about that. You know, they're like, Mary was yelling at me. And they forget, like, y'all are still a team. I don't care if Melody was yelling at you. We're gonna take this picture. You know, but I love it because at the end of it, like it always, you know, it works itself out, and you are still very much a team, and you wanna feel that. And sometimes in conflict, it's hard to feel that. You know, in conflict, you don't feel like you're on the team, but you are. But yeah, that's pretty much that process. And I tried to think to myself, what would I do if a client canceled on me? But you know, deposits are not refundable when it comes to certain things. But that's what contracts are for. You know what
Mm,
I mean? But we don't, I don't put that in my on my website. If you book with me and you cancel, I'm keeping your money. Like we don't, that's a conversation between
yeah.
me, you, and I don't feel like that's public information. Because you know good and well the people that put that out there, they don't got that same rule for everybody. They don't got that. I will guarantee you, they're not charging the person that's been coming to them for 2 years every single month, dropping $300-400. If they're 10 minutes late, you're not charging them. So don't sit here and try to put, you know what I mean? Like
New clients.
yeah, like let's just be real. It's flexible, and we know it's flexible. So why would you put that out there like that? You know, that's just me. Anybody else and anybody on the comments want to add anything? I'm looking. I
I
see people, but they're
just
not saying
I
it.
just think people trying to regulate as much as possible, but
Yeah,
not understanding, not thoroughly thinking through everything. Right.
right.
Because you're just thinking about, oh, this is how it affects me.
Hmm. And that's really why, you know, this the gist of the conversation, which is think about your customers. You need to be customer centric. It's your business, and a lot of people, they think because they're an entrepreneur, like they're hot shit. Excuse me. This is the hardest job you'll ever have, and it's not glamorous. It's glamorous if you just post an Instagram photos, but ain't nothing 100% glamorous about you know going out there and scrapping and getting your own money, from scratch with nobody else helping you. You know what I'm saying? It's not that glamorous.
Listen,
So no.
I know.
We're not trying to discourage any entrepreneurs out there. I'm just saying, like, have some grace because you're going to want it at some point in your business. You are going to want it given back to you. But
Absolutely.
that's all I got. What you got for the people? What you got going on? What's coming up next for Line 25 Consulting?
Line 25, that's a good question. Um, Honestly, I today is March 26th,
Mm-hmm.
and the next 6 or so weeks, I really just have to focus on the African American Marketing Association having its inaugural Marketing
Mm-hmm.
Culture Summit on May 11th and 12th in Atlanta, Georgia. So all of my focus is going to be on that for at least the next 6 weeks or so.
Mm-hmm.
So Line 25 has some great things in the works, but just has to put a pause. And yeah, so I'm excited.
Marketing for the culture coming up soon.
Bunch
That's gonna be
of
such a
emotion.
good event.
Yeah, so really gonna go hard on promotions. Um, Starting tomorrow. That was another thing with all of the traveling. I came back Wednesday, so I just been at home, like grocery store, home. Like
Right, right,
really trying
right.
to rest my body during this time because, starting tomorrow I'm gonna be busy. And I don't want to travel this month of April. So I'm really just trying to just appreciate the slowness right now.
No, absolutely understandable. Conference planning is hard. It's not easy.
Listen,
I work in that industry, so it's not easy.
it's been a humbling experience, and I'm sure once the event is over, I will be more vocal about things.
Yeah, no. Yo, no. There's definitely some conversations to be had. Like we didn't try to I thank you for jumping on this call with me because I know we were supposed to get on another live about some other things, but I can't wait to these are conversations that we need to have. Like this is a light one. I know I came on here, I'm joking but business is not easy and there's no manual to this, and people sharing their stories and their experiences only helps. And so I hope that if you are ever jump on one of our lives, we actually have done lives in the past, and this is not our first time having live conversation, but hopefully it was helpful. And if you have anything that you want to hear us talk about, or if you want to join us on a call, really would have been dope to have somebody from beauty on this call.
Yeah,
And maybe it could be a part two, because maybe there's some education that we're missing on the process. But yeah, definitely let us know, DM one of us, and we could definitely schedule some sharing roundtable style conversations.
I think if you reach out to some people this week, they'll be happy to do it like next Sunday or Monday.
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
dope. Like I would love to hear different perspectives. I actually have a you're speaking at next month. We're going to talk about, it's actually a registered event we're doing for Take the Lead, which is a women's leadership hub that I founded to help women kind of take the lead in their career and their business. And so we have a session coming up about going from making your side hustle your main hustle. And so
Yeah.
Michelle's going to be on it, and we have a couple people, other people that are going to be on it as well, to have that conversation. Around we have the side hustle culture, but how do you turn that into a main hustle, and and do you want to turn it into a main hustle, and what does that actually look like? Because everybody says side hustle, but they never show the transition to like what it looks like to go full time and make it your main hustle. So that's gonna be really interesting. I'll be posting about that on my own social media, so you can and I'm sure Michelle will probably post it on hers as well, so you can get details. But it's gonna be really, really good conversation. I can't wait to have. So yeah, we got some programs coming up. Marketing for the
Yeah.
culture. Whoop whoop. Can't wait. How
Very
do
cool.
people find out? Where can they go to find out about marketing for the culture?
Yes. So you can go to marketingfortheculturesummit.com. You can go to AAMA Houston on Instagram, and all of the details would be there, or the link in bio for you to get more information. Definitely follow us, because we're going to start um, becoming more aggressive with our promo. So just posting a lot more live streams. I was really inspired by social media marketing world. So
Oh, I gotta call you about that. Sorry, y'all. Y'all not gonna get that on live. I want to know all about social media marketing world. That's
yeah,
is that Michael? That's Michael Selzner's thing, right? Yeah, I definitely cannot wait to hear about that. I was trying to talk to you about it while you were there, but I know you had like back to back trips, so you probably now have been able to like download and figure out what your thoughts are around it. But I'm curious to learn what you learned, because I'm in a rut when it comes to like creative marketing right now, and I've actually hired a VA to like help with social media, but like I'm doing all the content production and I'm just getting stuck. I'm like, I don't know what I want to do. I'm not inspired. So I can't wait to hear some things that you learned. And I hate that I missed that event, because it really would have been good for me to go to. But yeah, I might go back and look at some of the Dallas marketing summit stuff to see if I can get re-engaged with some ideas.
that's exciting.
But yeah, thank you for joining me.
Yeah, thanks for having me. We will do this again soon.
We will. I don't know how you end this. Oh, maybe just
Save
hit
it.
that button. How do
YouTube.
you? Okay, I'm gonna save it.
When
I'm
you
gonna
exit
save it.
out of it.
Huh?
When you exit out of it.
Hmm. It'll ask you, right? I haven't done this in so long, girl. I've been forgetting. Okay, bye, y'all. We'll see y'all later. Join us on another one. Peace. Have a great day.